if you can keep from turning the ball over, you have a chance to win. Regardless of whatever else happens, it gives you a chance to be in the game. Because turnovers are what lead to quick scores, that lead to momentum changes, that really change the complexion of a game.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Bruce Beck. Welcome to the season premiere of Knightlife as we cover Rutgers athletics from A to Z. You know, the Rutgers University football team is off to their best start since 2012 and creating riveting moments for everyone.
Vedral throwing it deep right for Bohm. Mountain who holds it in for the score. To the 40, 45, 50. Cruikshank 45 to the 40. Gets past the 30 to the 20. We'll see you later, baby. That is a touchdown for Aaron Cruikshank. Four-man rush under pressure, sacked. Julius Turner there again. Henderson steps up in the pocket under pressure, sacked. So Rutgers wins it this afternoon, and they start the season 3-0 for the first time since 2012.
And it's a pleasure to be joined by the head coach of the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, Greg Schiano. And Greg, how's it going?
It's going well, Bruce. How about you?
Very well. What about the start for your football team in terms of what you're trying to accomplish in that swarm and finish mentality? How do you assess that?
Well, I think the guys, they're definitely bought into it. And, it has varying results, as it always does. But they know when you play really, really hard, that covers up for a lot of different things. So we really talk about that 24/7.
SHI Stadium was packed for the opener, a sellout crowd. What does it mean to have the fans back?
That was great. I mean, really great. A year delayed, but finally we got them in, and it was super. And my favorite was the student section. I mean, the students were crazy. They were there early. They say you can't get the students there at noon. Well, they were there, and they were loud. And again, that's what I look forward to, is when we have that home field advantage in SHI Stadium.
In terms of dealing in this COVID world, what about the commitment your players have made, and how proud are you of them?
Well, they really have. This is going on year 2 now, and it's hard. I mean, the guys have to make sacrifices, and they were all vaccinated, which is a good, that should help. But it's hard, Bruce. I mean, these guys, they're living in a college community, so, you hold your breath.
Olakunle Fatukasi, what a start. He scores your first points of the season on safety. He gets 3 sacks in the opener against Temple. Only 5 guys in Rutgers history have done that. What about his ferocity as a football player and his leadership?
Well, he's an excellent football player. He not only is very gifted, but he studies the game. He's a true professional playing in college. I mean, he really works at it, and he knows what's coming. And then he's a really fine tackler. And you look at him, he doesn't miss many tackles.
After 2 games, you led the nation with a +8 turnover ratio. That's pretty good stuff. And Noah Vedral has done an excellent job in taking care of the football and ball security, which is always a mantra for a coach. How about that regard, Coach?
Well, you said it, Bruce. If you can keep from turning the ball over, you have a chance to win. Regardless of whatever else happens, it gives you a chance to be in the game. Because, turnovers are what lead to quick scores, that lead to momentum changes, that really change the complexion of a game.
So you look at your 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams, and thus far, all 3 have been clicking for you. Is there one aspect you want improvement?
You know what? I think we need to improve in all aspects. It's a young season right now, right? We're right at the beginning of it, but we need to protect the quarterback better. That's number 1. And we need to make sure that in the kicking game that we're doing all the little things right. We have the best punter in America, in my opinion. We got a long snapper who is outstanding. But we need to do the little things at the other positions to make sure that we're winning the kicking game battle. Every coach you ever meet says, well, we got to win the kicking game. Well, who doesn't want to win the kicking game? But, you have to do the little things to win in the kicking game.
But punter Adam Korsak is definitely special. He's a game changer. He flips the field. He is a total asset for a team, almost like having an offensive weapon.
Yeah, he's the best I've ever been around in 33 years. I mean, that's a statement, because I've been around some really good ones. But he is just unbelievable, the way he can control the football and the way that he can be running with the ball, and then all of a sudden, if there's a threat, boom, he kicks it. It's different than anything I've ever seen.
Aaron Cruikshank is another guy who gives you a different dimension. He had over 200 yards and all-purpose yards in that first ball game of the year, and he gives you versatility, doesn't he?
He does, and he's really improved the wideout position, number one. As a returner, I think he's dangerous both as a kick returner and a punt returner. And we just need to keep doing the little things to help get him free. Because once he gets out in the open, there's not many guys in college football that are going to catch him.
So Greg, here we are. The Big Ten season is upon us. Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, Northwestern, consecutive weeks for Rutgers. How much do you embrace the challenge?
Oh, we like to start with the light work, you know.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be great, right? You're going to out to Michigan to play, and then Ohio State comes into our home, and then like you said, Michigan State. So you take them one at a time, but it's a great league. I told you, I felt like we belonged in this league from the jump, and to be in the league and be able to compete in this league is a great opportunity.
Years ago, you wanted this. You wanted this team in this league, and now you've got it, and it's not easy, my friend.
No, but it's what you want. It's a challenge. It's academic institutions that keep academics first, yet play at the highest level of college football. To me, it's college football at its finest.
So where do you go from here as you embrace on this new season in terms of the conference and in terms of your team getting better as you go along? You got to look for wins, but you also have to look for improvement. So how do you balance that?
Well, they go hand in hand, right? As long as we keep getting better, I don't know if it's going to be better than the team we're playing that week. That's why you have two teams. But I know if we don't get better, it won't be. So we have to continue to get better every week, and I know our guys are committed to that, and we'll see how it stacks up.
What about Rutgers Nation? Have they given you the support that you've needed here?
Yeah, I think Rutgers Nation is special. They're the reason I'm back, and I'm grateful for that. And I think the best is yet to come.
So what's your final message to the fans who have been patient and who have your back?
Well, we need your help. We're all decided to do this together. So now we need your help. When we get back home, we got to pack the stadium, and it can't be anybody's fans but ours. That's got to be all Rutgers fans in there every week, and we got to pack it out.
Good luck, my friend. We'll see you down the road, and it's been a good start for the season. Now, I guess the real challenge begins.
Here we go.
Good luck.
Thanks, Bruce.
That's Rutgers head coach Greg Schiano, who's in his 13th year in his second stint on the banks of the old Raritan. We'll have more coming up in a moment.
In uncertain times, you need someone who has your back. That's why at Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, we make sure our health plans have all the benefits you need. Because everyone should feel like someone has their back.
My name is Trish DiPaolo. I am the Director of Operations for the Rutgers Women's Soccer team. My cousin Bridget gave birth to two beautiful twins, Rosie and Cecilia, in November in 2018. In February 2019, they found out that one of the twins, Cece, had a rare liver disease. Cece, at 12 weeks old, had a procedure in hopes that she would not need a transplant right away, but unfortunately, they found out in May 2020 that she did need a liver transplant. Ironically, Cecilia's grandmother, Maureen, was one of my mom's kidney donors. My mom had multiple kidney transplants. So I knew right away that I wanted to get tested and see if I could help out. And that's kind of how everything started. So for the testing procedure, what they do first is they just kind of do general blood tests just to make sure you're okay and that you are a compatible match, which I was. So for the next step, I went to UPenn and they did a full head-to-toe medical workup, everything you could think of. And during that procedure, they do a donor education. So they just kind of make sure that you're fully aware of what happens before the surgery, during the surgery, after the surgery, what to expect, what complications might come up, and everything like that. And then the final step of the testing procedure is they do a psychological evaluation just to make sure mentally you're in good standing to be a living donor. So I got a call in July from the transplant coordinator where they told me that I was the target donor that they were going to be moving forward with. So at first I was really excited and then I was a little nervous. I hung up the phone with her and my first reaction was to call my parents, but I noticed that I had a Facebook memory notification, which I don't really look at often, but this one happened to be from my uncle Terry, who passed away. And my uncle Terry also had multiple transplants. He had the same genetic kidney disease that my mom did. So for me, that was kind of like a sign that we're both going to be okay, and Cecilia and I both have someone looking out for us.
So Trish has many great qualities. And one of her best qualities is that she's selfless. So I'm not surprised that she helped Cecilia. And when she told me about it and how important it was to her, that is a testament to the type of person that she is. We just feel blessed that she's part of the program, and she does such a great job. She's inspiring to be around because she has such a passion to help others, and it's so inspiring that she's part of our staff.
Cecilia and I had our liver transplant on August 5th, 2020. She has had her fair share of ups and downs since then, but she continues to show us how strong she is. She's such a warrior and such a fighter. I give so much credit to her parents, Bridget and Anthony. I don't know how they do this. They're nothing short of amazing, and they've been absolute rock stars throughout this whole process. So obviously due to COVID, Cece was taking a lot of precautions, and we were finally able to get together recently for the first time since the surgery. And it was just an incredibly moving day. She's literally the cutest girl in the world and so full of life. And just seeing, you know, where she was, how far she's come, and where she is now a year later. She has the brightest smile, the biggest personality, the wildest imagination, and such a contagious laugh. But most importantly, she's healthy.
Not only have the teams been excelling on the banks, but there have been some individual recognitions that are worth discussing. Ina Balyko is one of them. She is Rutgers Volleyball's first ever All Big Ten recipient.
Here's Balyko, back set for Koyadinovich, splits the middle. Balyko at the dump set kill. How dangerous of a weapon she is.
I'm this type of person that I never really check anything about my performance, because I don't know, I'm not just this type of person that's gonna look every time oh my God, where I am on the statistics. Of course it feels good, I feel accomplished, especially after these 3 past years when I kind of stopped to believing in myself in volleyball. And now every time when I get any accomplishments, sometimes I'm still a little bit surprised, but it feels really good, of course.
I think the word to describe Ina is she's very chill, and also she's very modest, especially when it comes to volleyball, because she doesn't even realize how good she is. And I'm so glad that last season they recognized her talent and hard work.
She gives this confidence, and she empowers me to be a better hitter. And when she sets me, I feel like she trusts me.
I'm naturally a very calm person off the court and on the court, and I think this trait helps me to stay calm and focused on important things all the time, and I think it makes me reliable on the court. To be a good setter, you have to be consistent on the court, put ball every time on the target, and have the same speed for sets. Caitlin often was telling us before the game that it's better to be aggressive and let ourselves to make mistakes. I think it helps us to grow with self-confidence and don't think too much about mistakes.
Nice set. Yeah!
Ina is really kind. She's really independent as well, and on the court, Ina is just really reliable. She's super skilled, and one great thing that makes her stand out against all the other setters in the Big Ten, she stays really calm under stressful situations. Her play style makes the hitters feel really comfortable, because even if you make a mistake or get blocked, she's still gonna set you the next ball. You don't feel that pressure to get the point where you're not gonna get set. So it just makes the hitters really only focus on hitting, and this is really good.
I say it every year that I'm just trying to enjoy my experience, and every year it's a new people on the team. We also have new coaches, and I just want to use this time and get much of experience with these people and just enjoy this.
Knightlife rolls on, and I'm joined by Pat Hobbs, the Director of Athletics at Rutgers University. And Pat, what does it mean to have the fall program back on track?
Bruce, first of all, it's good to be with you in person, and it's great. I mean, to have our fans in there in the stadium, you know, people are supposed to get together, right? That's what we do, and to get off to the start that we've gotten off to with all of our fans there enjoying it, it's just wonderful. Walking around the stadium, seeing people, you know, we are back. That's sort of what we're saying. We are back, and we certainly are back.
Speaking of the stadium and the fans in the seats, the students in particular, did I spot you in that group?
So they asked me, do you want to go over there, lead one of our cheers, and give away a television, and so we had some fun. So I've always been a big believer that whatever energy you give comes back at you. So I think people had some fun with it. It's not what I typically do, but I love our student section. I think it's one of the best student sections in the country. They bring it all the time. So to get in there, mix it up with our students was a lot of fun.
And this is really the first time that the fans get to see Coach Schiano on the field since he returned to the Banks.
Yeah, so it sort of was a celebration or a welcome back delayed by a year because I'm running out last year and there's nobody there. So to have our fans there and you know, part of it too, we built a lot of excitement last year because they saw the improvement in the program, and there's a lot of excitement obviously around our program this year. So to have Coach Schiano come out of that tunnel was really a pretty special moment. I know it was for him too.
You had 8 programs ranked nationally last year, and you're off to a blazing start with men's and women's soccer, with field hockey in the polls. How do you rate that success?
I mean, look, it's a formula that is not one that we invented, right? It's you get good leadership in your programs and then provide that leadership with the resources that they need to be successful. And that's what we're doing. You know, we're sitting here at the Rutgers Center. That's an important part of our soccer programs and our lacrosse programs. So we have field hockey, men's and women's soccer. You know, men's had a huge win, sort of a signature win of the Jim McKeldry era. Big win recently for women's soccer, and Mike O'Neill celebrated his 100th win here on the Banks, which is pretty special. And then even men's lacrosse and women's lacrosse are preseason ranked in the top 20. So that's pretty exciting.
Volleyball in the rack. That is something new, and it's really exciting.
You know, it's funny because we're sitting there for that first game, and it looked so natural, like this is the way it should be for volleyball.
But it was the first ever.
But it was
right?
the first time we ever did it. So, you know, one of the great things at Rutgers, you get to do a lot of first ever, and so we're going to have a lot more of our volleyball matches in there. And what can you say about the job Caitlin Swihoffer's doing right now? I mean, it's a pretty exciting time for volleyball as well.
During the pandemic, your opponents were basically Big Ten opponents, and you're playing conference foes, and yet you had your best season since 2006, 2007 overall. How do you measure that level of success?
Again, it comes down to leadership, right? We've got great leadership in all of our programs right now. And that, for an AD, that's exactly what you want. You want to be able to say, I've got a great leader for each of my programs. And then our job, not just my job, but everybody on my team and frankly everybody as part of Rutgers Nation needs to continue to make sure that they have all the resources they need. And our winning percentage will continue to go up, both conference winning percentage and non-conference.
Friday, October 8th is the Hall of Fame dinner, and that class is led by Eric LeGrand.
Yeah, it's going to be a really special night. We did not want to do it remotely last year, so we decided we would wait. All the 5 people who are going in are all exceptional, led by, of course, the great Eric LeGrand. Love him. Maybe we'll serve his coffee a little bit later that evening. And we want it to be a fitting tribute and a special evening for them. So can't wait for October 8th to celebrate with all of them.
And then on Saturday, October 9th, in the game against Michigan State, or just before the game, you've got the ribbon cutting for the Rutgers Center. And this building is really all about academics in addition to everything else, isn't it?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you to Gary and Barbara for their gift that made this possible. We're going to celebrate the ribbon cutting that morning. It'll be a very special, look, we've been using the building now for 9 months, and it's been a game changer. That's the 2 words you'll hear most people say is this building's a game changer. Academically, to see all of our students coming into this building for their academic support, to see tutoring sessions all over the building is pretty special for us because we know where that was before. It was scattered, it wasn't high quality, and now they feel we're stressing their academics. So This building is absolutely one of the most important additions that we made in terms of our facilities. And again, it's one of the reasons you have a ribbon cutting like that is Gary and Barbara want to encourage others to give, because we're not done. We're not. I'm not sure we're even halfway done with doing the things that we're going to need to do to make sure our student athletes, our coaches, have everything they need.
We all have bucket lists in life. Do you have quietly back there a little bit of a bucket list for what you want to accomplish over the next decade?
Oh, I have my list. It involves.
You going to share it?
Well, I'll tell you, it involves national championships, it involves Big Ten championships, and it definitely involves a trip to the Rose Bowl.
Wow, that would be impressive. That would be exciting. Finally, what would you like to say to Rutgers Nation and all of those who have been supportive of this program during a very challenging time?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you. Thank you to them. They've been supportive throughout this. They see now what we're starting to do, and they're going to continue that support. We're going to need that support. Can't wait to see everybody back in the rack for what I think is going to be a pretty exciting basketball season, wrestling season. So a lot of good times here on the Banks.
All right, great to spend some time with you and get back to work, Pat.
I will. Thanks, Bruce.
That's Pat Hobbs, the Director of Athletics at Rutgers University. Coming up next, we'll take a look back at the men's lacrosse season, which had an unprecedented season with tremendous success.
They put a lot of time, sweat, effort, commitment into training, did everything they needed to do throughout the summer to fall to be ready for this moment.
Move the defense a little bit. The season opener from SHI Stadium in Piscataway. Here's the shot.
Oh my goodness! Are you serious?
Rutgers bench jumping up and down. They can taste it. Rutgers wins on opening day and knocks off the 6th-ranked team in the nation. Another big win for the 5th-ranked Scarlet Knights of Rutgers.
Congratulations to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. They were able to stave off the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Rutgers finishes this game on a 6-goal scoring run, and on senior day, the seniors shine. Number 7 Rutgers beats Hopkins at home.
Lehigh in Klockner Stadium in Charlottesville will play Rutgers. So one of those bubble teams that you talk about, Q, now off the table and into this bracket.
It's the thirst, and these teams have been starving for this opportunity. Think about Rutgers, all that bubble disappointment. 2004 was the last time they were in this opportunity, and for Lehigh 2013, they've been knocking on the door a bunch as well. He throws smoke from the outside.
A pass in front and a goal.
It's Kurst to Charlambides to Mullins.
And a goal by Rutgers. That may just about do it. The Scarlet Knights celebrating their first NCAA tournament win in 31 years.
And all the alum that are watching this team right now that were on those bubble teams, you set the foundation for 2021.
That is a big-time win. You're only the 2nd Rutgers team ever to have an NCAA tournament win. Well done. How about a little RU rah-rah right here? Yeah. Well done. Ready, Bobby? Let's go. Let's go. RU rah-rah, RU rah-rah, hoorah, hoorah, Rutgers rah. Rutgers rah.
And Rutgers moving on to the quarterfinals. They'll take on North Carolina next week.
Ability to get a shot off with pressure and own a corner. Wow. That was picture perfect. Connor Kirst, backhand extraordinaire, top corner. Adam Sheralambidis, planting, falling, ripping, top shelf.
I mean, I'm just so proud of this team. They care so much and they play so hard. Came together, they had a plan, they were committed. Very proud of everything they've done today and through the season.
Rutgers is looking forward to building on the momentum that was generated during the past year. That's it for this edition of Knightlife. I'm Bruce Beck. We'll see you next time.